Hello everybody, I'm Alfred, and the video we're about to watch and listen to is titled Rainbow Six Siege Official Ace Elite Sets New on the 6th trailer. So let's get started. It's interesting that it shows that instrumental, which is basically the waltz, and they are showing people in army, that is the contrast, waltz is a peaceful dance, ballroom dancing, it's calm, and then they are now showing military personnel, in slow motion, in combat mode, this looks like a training drill, from these styles, but let's keep watching. What? Is he when he's training and doing his drills, he's on Instagram, is this what it has come to? It is what they are now promoting, in the video games, and is this what they want for the army? A little while back there was a crazy woke ad, on by the US military that was about, let me search woke military recruitment ad, that was about lesbian this and all of that. Let's I think this is the video, let's check this out. Or better, let's check this army recruitment ads, China versus Russia versus USA. Let us watch this. This is going to be fun. So this is the China one. You can see the seriousness, the discipline, the serious mindedness. Look at the coordination. Clean uniforms, developing character and all that. This is China's military recruitment video for people to get into the Chinese military, Chinese citizens. Not that there's no emphasis on feminism and women in the military, or gays or anything like that. And that will be the Navy, and they are showing different parts of the Chinese military, Air Force for the Chinese. Then the leader of China.
人民军队的力量来自改革创新，人民军队的胜利来自改革创新。
China is building the greatest and the largest and the strongest army in the world. Now this will be the Russia ad, the advertisement to recruit Russians into the Russian military.
Теперь важно то, кем ты будешь сегодня. Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен?
Notice that we don't see women and an emphasis on women joining the military, and the military, accommodating feminism and claiming that women are strong as men.
Каждый день здесь боль закаляет. Шрамы, повседневность. Это ты решил себе что-то доказать. Командир здесь только для того, чтобы ты мог увидеть.
You can see a lot of focus on strength, dedication.
Без боя нет победы. самом деле.
in this Russian ad.
Главный враг — это ты. Вчерашний ты.
Building the
Твоя задача
individual
выследить
who
врага,
joins the
догнать
army
его,
into a
превзойти,
stronger
стать
and a more
лучше, чем он,
powerful
и вернуться назад победителем.
force to be reckoned with.
Потому что завтра первый день
Within
твоей
the army.
жизни.
Then this is the US own wokeness. You know, the African American, the lesbian, and all of that. The feminist aspect, you know, intersectionality and all the nonsense. So this is the US ad.
This is
The
the
US
story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California with a little girl raised by two moms.
You see, with a little girl raised by 2 months, they have already started with the feminism and LGBT. This is what they are trying to do, you know, with getting people into the military. They are pushing LGBT and feminism. You know, war is not about, you know, war is not going to respect, oh, this person believes in LGBT or this person believes in feminism, therefore the war is going to be in the favor of that person, or the bullet is going to refuse to fire because, you know, the person believes in feminism or believes in whatever woke BLM cause or racist, anti-racist or racist, whatever, blah blah. That has nothing to do with anything when it comes to war, you know. And these are the practicalities that are lost to wokeness. Wokeness is actually a tool for the destruction of Western civilizations, particularly America, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and, you know, the certain powerhouses of Europe.
Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to
You
think
see,
I've been
BLM,
defending
she
freedom
marched
from
for
an early
equality
age.
and for LGBT, whatever. That is what they are trying to do. They are trying to get Antifa-minded human beings, apparently, into the US Army. You know, this is that Antifa-minded foolishness that has permeated all of America. This is their own. This is sad.
Defending freedom from an early age. When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom.
And this is 2 women getting
With such
married.
powerful role
This is
models-
what they want to push in an ad for army recruitment. This is what the US is pushing. 2 women getting married. Whoa. This is crazy.
I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as
And
graduation
you see
approached,
that
I
emphasis
began
on feminism. She joined a sorority, you know, she graduated at the top of her class. She finished high school at the top of her class. Well, when they are eliminating the possibility of giving kids F and D, why wouldn't everybody, you know, graduate at the top of their class? You know, when they are giving everybody medals for participation, why wouldn't everybody be at the top of the class? So that is just nonsense. And of course, you know, in reality, people who are linked to this kind of foolishness and have been indoctrinated into foolishness are not going to be high performers in the real world. That is a fact, you know. So that is just something that is by the side. Then, you know, adding she joined the sorority of powerful women. Nonsense. Sororities are full of lesbians with hazing and all kinds of nonsense. A lot of sororities are just nonsense. They are just like fraternities. A lot of fraternities, you know, in the American university system are just for people to party and to act reckless and to be stupid. You know, a lot of fraternities and sororities are nothing to write home about. It is not something that you can say because you joined this fraternity or sorority, you deserve something. You know, those fraternities and sororities that actually have powerful people and treat, like the Skull and Bones, you know, of Harvard, you know, which only God knows if they have changed their name to something else or if they are still operating. But those kinds of societies, first of all, those are in rich schools, and they only accept rich people and people who have certain kind of status, and their parents are in a certain class. So that in itself, they are choosing where they are choosing from is a pool of people who are most likely going to be put ahead of others because of their family background, because of the money that they have and the money that their parents have. So that in itself is a selection process. It is not like because they joined that fraternity they have so and so advantages. Even though such selection process will create a pool of very powerful people which will give that group an advantage, should they embark on using it.
I finished high school at the top of my class and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life.
And when she calls herself a strong woman, based on what she has told us about her story and where she's coming from, what makes her strong? Is it having two moms that makes her strong? Is it having lesbian parents that make her strong? Is it so-called graduating that makes her strong? Is it her just being a woman that makes her strong? Or is it because she participated in BLM protests, her parents took her as a child, as a little girl, to dangerous BLM protests or LGBT whatever parades to march for so-called equality? Is that what makes her a strong woman? Is that a definition of a strong woman? And this is an ad for the army, and is that what would qualify for strength in the army?
Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed
to say this, what does she want to achieve? So, which is an interesting, concept and relates to what I just said. What does she want to achieve by herself? And then is apparently that is now pointing to the military. That is where they'll plug in the military. But that goes against the message they have sent before, because they have sent that she had joined a sorority with other strong women by herself. So her being strong, her being a strong woman already has come from her having lesbian parents, or being pro-LGBT and leftist, and participating in BLM parades, riots, whatever, LGBT leftist feminist madness parades. Since strength comes from there, and that is what makes her strong, how can you then send a second message that she needed to fulfill something by herself and to get something, and that now comes from the military? And look at what are the other options that they are putting, because now it's now comparison. It is not an ad that is just showing one thing like, oh, the military. It's also showing so many different things. They have advertised other things. They have advertised leftism, LGBT, being a so-called activist, by joining gay pride parades as a child and all that nonsense. That is what they have advertised, and I've called that strength. And they are just opposing it with her other sorority sisters who, won't climb Mount Everest. How is that an achievement? What does that do for you? If you climb Mount Everest, what is the point? Many other people have done it, and what has you achieved? If it's your purpose in life to climb Mount Everest, how selfish you are. What it shows how purposeless you are. There are problems to solve. There are needs to be met. There are people who are in their situations. There are problems that other people are going through, and you are classifying success as climbing Mount Everest. But let's check out more.
Women. But what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy.
You see, one of her sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. This is an ad for people joining the US Army, and you're comparing joining the US Army to be on the level as going to a different country to go and serve there, to go and learn there, to go and educate yourself there, and probably be a citizen there. This is that globalism. This is this anti-patriotism. So somebody going to another country to study is on the same level par with joining the US military. What a weird message to send out in a US military ad. And of course, a purposeless and a pointless thing as climbing Mount Everest. What does that add? How does that make the world better? If you climb Mount Everest, all that stress you have gone through, what is the purpose of it? How has it improved the world? How has it even improved you? You know, you could have joined a gym and done rock climbing within a gym and gotten equivalent exercise, even more exercise, and it would have been much safer. Well, let's keep watching.
Brother was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge.
So she needed her own adventures and her own challenge. So joining the military is just a personal experience. It is tantamount to climbing Mount Everest. You know, it is tantamount to seeking your own thrill. So it's something for your own thrill, you know, your own adventure. It's just an adventure. That is what joining the military is. But of course, why wouldn't it be, since patriotism is dead? So since America does not believe in patriotism anymore, why would, you know, there be any point to, you know, joining the military for any patriotic reasons? Because after all, America is evil. All white men are bad, you know, white man is the devil and all of that. Let's keep watching.
And after meeting with an army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength. And maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way.
So, her purpose of joining the US military was to shatter stereotypes. Think about that. How foolish is it? It is not for patriotism. It is not to keep her country safe. It has nothing to do with serving the country. It is about her personal adventure, her personal thrill, and to shatter stereotypes, to prove a point. And that you can see the link of that with her childhood, where she was taken to LGBT pride parades to, in the name of fighting for equality or whatever BLM, whatever nonsense parade she was taken to by her two lesbian moms, according to them. Like if the two moms got pregnant, you know, nobody can have two moms. You know, you cannot have two mothers. You know, a child comes out of one woman's womb, not two women at the same time. You know, so nobody can have two mothers. But you can see that foolishness. This is what they are promoting. So her purpose of joining the military, the US military, and this is what they are promoting. This is what the US military wants. The US military wants you to join the military so that you will shatter stereotypes, not so that the US will have a strong, viable army. This is what wokeness does. Wokeness is a tool for the destruction of Western civilizations, particularly the US, Canada, and the powerhouses of Europe.
My inner strength, and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
Nonsense. Anyway, let's get back to the Rainbow Six. Now, what brought us to that, you know, segue was in the Rainbow Six, you know, the very idea, you know, that it has turned into using selfies, you know, taking selfies during training, you know. So this the ad, you know, the new Rainbow Six ad, you know, this guy is taking selfies during military training. This is the American mindset, you know, wokeness and foolishness all rolled in one. So you can see he set up his camera with his smartphone with a small tripod, you know, to take clips, and you can see his Instagram comments, whatever they call this, follows, yes, and likes. You know, you could see whatever his social media followership is growing. So this is what the military is about. You know, it is what they are promoting in the video game, joining the US military so that you can increase your social media presence, and and you know, you are showing off training drills. Training drills should not be shown, and you know, all of this information should be somewhat confidential, because the militaries of the other armies are seeing these things. But let us see what, you know, wokeness and, you know, this era of madness has done. And what is he doing by making that signal of call me? Is he trying to get girls? Is that what the military is about? So he's using his army training, his drill in the military to increase his social media following and tell girls to call him. Is that what it is about now? This is crazy. You can see that call me hand sign. This is crazy. And this is the selfie view, the video. So it's basically the US Army turning into an OnlyFans of sorts. Wow. In any case, if you have any common sense and you would want common sense to prevail in this world where a lot of foolishness is being created, and for those of you who do not know, this is a plan and this is a ploy to destroy and weaken Western civilizations and their armies and their military. It is intentional. There are smart people who know what is happening and are in charge of this. There are a lot of course, foolish people in between that are riding along with and saying, no, they are promoting equality. Oh, they are promoting, being cool and hip. And, oh, other countries are wonderful as well. So, going to Italy to study is the same thing as, or should be looked at as no different as joining the US military. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other when it comes to helping the country one is from and all of that. So this is all intentional. This is all intentional. Now, if you want common sense to prevail and you want common sense to be pushed, more importantly, Christian principles, principles that won't promote war but will promote peace and love, but stronger armies and armies that will respond to the laws of God, that will not listen to evil people when evil people are made president, people that understand diplomacy and will do things the right way. When the righteous rule, as the Bible says, there is rejoicing, but when the evil rule, there is mourning. There is war and there is mourning when evil people and warmongers rule. So we must put positive messages out there, truthful message. We must put the gospel out there in every medium. Look at how Satan is working over time to put destructive messages into the video games that people play. Video games like this and the kind of concepts that this nonsense is promoting, does not bode well for America. So if you want to make good Christian video games, reach out to us on Alfred VIP. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Perhaps you want to start your own video game studio, movie studio, cartoon studio, reach out to us on Alfred VIP. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Don't bother about the money. Where will you get the money from? Don't bother about your skill level. You can always improve that, and you can always hire people. Just take the first step. When you take a step, you will see you can take a second step and a third step. Those are the steps of faith. So reach out to us. We would like to help you on your journey. And that being said, if you've not given your life to Christ, also go to Alfred VIP, click the salvation prayer link in the main menu. When you do that, the page will come out as the prayer of salvation. Say that prayer and give your life to Christ. That's the salvation prayer SP link. Note there's also a salvation prayer in the description below. Thank you and God bless you.